Hey, hey,
Hey,
I'm Brian,
and I'm Kristen.
and this is the Brian and Kristen podcast. We are a brother and sister combo, and we each week we take questions from the audience, and we have a great time, don't we, Kristen?
Yes, I learn something new every week.
Every week. Now you got a different background again this week. Seems like every week we meet up, you got a different background. Where are you now?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, the lovely bed behind me and my suitcase with clothes thrown out, I'm sure.
Okay, cool. I've been to Charlotte with Dad actually when I did a wrestling tournament there at one point, and I had a great time. I think that was the trip when I was on the junior Olympic team, and I got totally smashed. I got destroyed, but we had a great time.
That's a fond memory.
Yeah, I had a great time on the trip, but the competition there was just at a level I wasn't prepared for. So, but I remember it being a really pretty city. And
Yeah, I've had less than 12 hours here, but I do have a question about traveling with Dad now that you mentioned it.
yeah,
So I was actually in Oklahoma City yesterday, and so Um, oh, there was a store I came upon, and it had one of the foods that I think Dad taught us about when we were traveling on the road. What would you think is one of the biggest snack foods Dad would have if we did a road trip?
well, I do remember he ate peanuts, but I also remember he liked Limburger cheese, but I don't think he would bring that on a day.
That would ruin a vacation.
Yeah, that would ruin a vacation. uh, uh, what did he eat? I don't know.
Okay, well, I remember beef jerky.
Oh, beef jerky. Yes, yes, beef jerky.
So that is a staple in my travels. And yesterday I stumbled upon a store that had all they had was beef jerky, 100 different flavors of beef jerky.
Wow,
So
that's
anyway,
cool.
Oklahoma City, if anybody's there and you're a beef jerky fan like I am, you got to go to this store. It was great.
What's it called?
I think it was called Bricktown Jerky because it was in
Okay.
Bricktown in downtown Oklahoma City. Yeah, it was super fun.
And for people who don't know, Kristen went to Oklahoma City College
University. Yep, university.
University.
Close, close. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, university.
But yeah,
And
so that was fun because I got to eat at my favorite Mexican restaurant from college. They had a really cool
cool.
candy store that had a bunch of old school candy, like a whole bunch of things that were really new. So believe it or not, Oklahoma City can be kind of fun.
Yeah. And a side note about beef jerky. Do you know who's the spokesperson for Slim Jim?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah, step into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. Yes, I got to practice my Macho Man impression. Oh, so you there with me, Kristen? Did my internet die? Oh no.
There we go. All
We
right,
go.
you're back.
Okay, there we go. My internet froze here. You know, we're out in the country, so
Or maybe that
sometimes
impression was just too much. The
yeah,
internet, you broke the internet.
I broke the internet with the Macho Man impression. I better stop doing it, brother. So, well, hopefully we don't have any more technical difficulties because every week we get a question from our audience, and we got another great one from our friend George here, coming from us from beautiful Southern California. And speaking of beautiful Southern California, I have been gone from there for almost 4 years, but in February I will be back for maybe 7 to 10 days. I got a private gig in Long Beach, and then I think I'll be performing with Darren Carter at one of my favorite clubs, which was the Brea Improv. So I know George and those guys like to come to the shows, so that's quite possible. But without further ado, let's get this week's question in.
Hey, hey. I had to book some travel recently for work, and I had the option of selecting an aisle seat or a window seat. What a dilemma. That got me thinking, if you were in my position and you had the choice between an aisle seat and a window seat, which one would you pick and why? Swine time.
I love George's questions because it's like things I would never think of, and and he wants advice on them. I love him.
and, and it's like putting a little sponsorship in.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you might have paid him. I don't know. No one else has come on with a shirt with questions as frequently as George, so there's something going on. I'm convinced. Wow, what a great question since I'm in the industry.
Yeah. Being a flight attendant, what for you? What's your pick there, Kristen?
So as a passenger, always as a passenger, I always pick the window, but that's because I can sleep as soon as I get on. So I like to use the window as my pillow. Probably not the cleanest thing to do, but I still do it. And then I always like to wear a hoodie, sweatshirt, or something with a hood on it, so I can put my hood over and lean against the window, and nobody bothers me. I also pick the window. Well, I think it depends, because what I've heard is that if you're a guy with big shoulders, you want something like the aisle, so you're not as crammed in. But then you have to worry about the flight attendants running into you. And I've definitely run into a few people with bigger shoulders. I feel bad, but there's not a lot I can do about it. Those aisles are not too big.
Right.
But I think it depends. If you actually want to like get work done, maybe the window is not the best. But for me, window, sleeping 100% of the time.
Okay, that's I would agree. I always pick the window. I like to look out the window. I like you said, you can lean right up there, you fall asleep. Of course, when you wake up, your neck's sore. I mean, when I was there visiting you in St. Pete, remember I had to go to the chiropractor down there because on the plane somehow I hurt my neck and I was sleeping the whole time.
That's funny.
And so I like the window too, because you can get the pictures, especially when we used to fly over the Grand Canyon a lot, and you would get stuff. And so I prefer the window because you're not really that close to people. And I guess I don't have wide shoulders because I've never experienced that with the with the aisle seat. So I think my hips are wider than my shoulders, to be honest. That's what Coach Dehart always used to tell me.
Oh,
At
that's
least.
funny.
In fact, when he tells the story about me, he goes, "He came into practice, his hips were this wide, his shoulders were this wide." I'm like, okay, dude, you don't have to explain that detail, dude. So, yeah, I'm with you there. I go for the window for all those reasons. Now, I do know a lot of people like the aisle because they can get up and use the restroom or whatnot and kind of walk around, but I like that window seat. What do you think? Do you think, because you're an expert and you see people, do you think more people like window or aisle in general?
Oh, good question. I think there are definitely the people that like the aisle, so they can also, if they've got long legs, like to put their legs out in the aisle.
Mhm.
Again, also a tripping hazard for those of us that have to walk down the aisle on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But I think also it depends. I know kids always like the window, of course, they want to see things. But if I were George, it also depends on where you're going too, because again, to your point, if you actually are awake for the trip and want to look out the window, sometimes there are cool things to see. But yeah, I don't know if there's really one way or the other. We have a flight attendant who, when he does his announcements, he really makes it very clear about getting all your bags and legs out of the way as to not trip the flight attendants. and the other day he actually said, "We have a female here," which was me. "We want to make sure not to snag her hose." Now, I would never have thought about that. But I got a kick out of it. I got a little embarrassed too, because then everybody started staring at me. But I would not have thought about that. But hey, I'm glad he was looking out for me.
Yeah. Oh, that must have got a pretty good laugh, right?
It totally did.
And now are you getting to do a little stage time with the mic there at the
At the front of the plane?
yeah, when they do the announcements?
Yes. So I have only had that position once, which is fine by me because I'm still not super comfortable there. However, it was when we were in Ohio. So when we landed in Columbus, I did get to go OH and hear the rest of the plane, IO. So that worked out well. And then We did fly to Chicago, and there was a Notre Dame Ohio State game. So of course, everybody on the plane was for Notre Dame. So I wished them well and said, "Go Bucks." That went over really well.
On the same one you said OHIO, or that was
No, it was a different one. It
different one?
happened to be that it was the same trip, but we were leaving Chicago. Or no, we were going to, I don't know where we were going. But anyway, we were ending up close to Notre Dame when they were playing Ohio State. So I said, "Go Buckeyes."
Yeah.
Not happy people.
and the Buckeyes won by a field goal, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even get to watch the game. Go figure.
Yeah, I know they won. I think it was by a field goal. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. Yeah, it was by a field goal. So, yeah, Ohio State is currently 5-0. So it might come down to them in Michigan or something. Somebody's going to get beat along the way. But
that's how it works, right? Not everybody can win.
Yeah. Well, Ohio State's in such a tough division that it's almost impossible not to lose one game at some point. And so that's that's just the way it is. And so we came to the decision 2-0 in favor of the window seat. If you guys would, please let us know if you like window or aisle. And
why didn't he even put the middle in there as an option?
I don't think anybody wants that. Right?
He didn't even have that as an option. I don't get it.
Unless you're sitting between like I don't know Selma Hayek and Faith Hill. I don't know why you'd want the middle seat. And those are just two. That's showing my age a little bit because when we were young, those were the hot mamas. I don't know who the hot mamas are nowadays. So I don't know.
Apparently, he just took the middle right out of there as an option. Not even fair. I don't get it.
Yeah. So do you know your schedule? Where are you off to next?
So Houston, and then Miami, and then Baltimore. So that's all going to happen today. And then,
oh man,
I don't know. Yeah. So we usually do like 3 or 4 different cities. Most of them I don't get to see. Yesterday we did stop in Nashville, got to run through the airport, saw that Hattie B's hot chicken, but it was closed.
Oh,
so yeah.
Yeah.
So the most exciting it sometimes gets is the airport food.
So Hattie B's was inside the airport, or you got to leave? And it was inside. They were making
inside the airport. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Hattie B's is a place in Nashville we went to with our mom, and it was super great, spicy. We made a YouTube video. It's out there. And,
yeah. In your leisurely time, go look up the Hattie B's hot video YouTube. Right after you get done picking your aisle or middle seat.
Yeah, and you got to scroll through all my unorganized videos, which I got like 1,000. So, but
not to worry, it is out there.
Yeah, it's out there somewhere. So that's great. Well, we'll do it. I went to New York. That was a good time. Met some interesting people. Did some shows, and I'm going to stay here in Ohio for a little while and just get caught up on my life. So. That's the strategy here.
All
and
right.
Yeah, so the weather's nice out today. It's going to be nice. And this weekend I'll be working at the Spatola. Not that anybody will probably go because it's far, but I'll be working at the Spatola Wrestling Clinic, and we got Coach Dehart's going to be there, and a bunch of great wrestlers. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully I'll be fine. And I was looking up something else that's kind of interesting. I'm 44, almost 45. I was watching some boxing. Do you know how old George Foreman was when he won the title his second time around?
45.
George Foreman was 45 years old when he won the second title.
I mean, I feel like there's hope for you.
There's hope.
Don't go to bed depressed. There's still hope.
There's still hope, man.
Even though hope's not a strategy, but there's hope.
Yeah. I got to see what his training schedule was, but I was watching one of the boxing matches, and he looked all like slow, and the guy was really, really on him, punching him and everything. And then all of a sudden, George Foreman goes, boom, boom, and knocked the guy out. And apparently George said that he was playing. He was acting like he was slow and stuff until the time where he could hit him with the combo. And Don't know if that's true or not, but I saw that last night and it woke me up. I woke up today early because I was so motivated from George Foreman. So
And then you made something on his grill.
yeah, exactly.
And I made breakfast on the Foreman grill.
I may not be able to punch like him, but I can eat, eat like him. So, well, cool, Kristen. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next one, guys. If you have any questions for us, feel free to leave them or even get creative and make a video like George did. We really appreciate that. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.